championship game. Basketball here, there's a steal. Zador Phillips to the rim, slams it home. From the slot, and Rickles ends it in overtime.
Is back, the head up the bump, and he is spinning, and he's stopped at the goal line. Centennial wins it. Spinning into your living room. This is Sports Den. I'm J.W. Cox, flying solo here on this Monday with some game action to get to you in the form of highlights and the big news, of course, looking ahead to our expanded coverage to include football and volleyball. That's what's on tap. So glad you're with us once again here on Sports Den. Let's jump right into it. Let's go back to last week and soccer. The doubleheader, the rivalry edition. It started under the sunlight with the boys of Blaine and Centennial rolling through a scoreless first half. Final minutes and a handball in the box. You know what that means. It's going to come out to the penalty mark, and Will Mears would take it for the Cougars and make it for the Cougars. A 1-0 lead at the half. Blaine has won 5 of 8, keep in mind, against the Centennial Cougars in this matchup. You're thinking, here's a 1-0 game. Let's see how much more scoring we can get. Well, we had one Mears. Now we've got another. Garrett Mears goes back to the middle and finds Joey McMillan. And the excitement finds Joey McMillan directly after. He's fired up. It's 2-0 Cougars. They continue on in the second half. It worked once, why not? There's Garrett Mears again. Far side to the middle, and just a tap for Harper Searles to put it home and really send this one down the road, 3-0, but the Cougars weren't done. The sharp throw in, a little bit of a misplay defensively, and the tap. Garrett Mears, that one there as it was already 4-0. Luke Zaki had scored, Mears gets his own, and it's 5-0. The Cougars take it and beat the Blaine Bengals out of that. The Cougars a game above 500. How about the girls matchup? Kendall Stadden, Kaya Harper. Those are two of the best you'll see in the North Metro or in the state. So, will we see them on the highlights? Quick answer, yes, because Kaya's quick. Gets out in front of everybody, just off the keeper, bangs it home. Kaya Harper, 1-0 for the Cougar lead early on. This is their final home game, so senior night. Trying to show up and show out for the crowd that got out there socially distanced. Well, there she is showing up again. Kaya Harper moving out past everybody. Deeks, the goaltender, and taps it home. It's 2-0 Cougars. We're still in the first half as the Cougars take that lead. We do. Hyperdrive to the second half. And speaking of hyperdrive, boom, liftoff for Summer Francis out in front of the defense. Just the keeper to beat. That's not a summer breeze. That's a gale force wind of Summer Francis sprinting ahead. Kendall Stadden would not be denied. The top scorer for the Bengals. Check out this individual effort. Down 3-0, sure, but she got that one home. Cougars 6-0-2 against the Bengals in their last 8. Well, she's trying to do something with it. How about Harper? Just hear it. The power.
From Kaya Harper.
Bang. Welcome to Kaya Town, where the motto is bar down. Kaya Harper scores again. That's her third of the night. Kendall Stadden again. Just aggressive, individual effort. Look at her beat all the defenders, plus another. Hesitation, left-footed boot. Stadden wanted more. Unfortunately, they would not get it. And the Centennial Cougars win for the 7th time in 9 tries without a loss against their rival Bengals. And the Cougars just continue to roll as they are still at the top of the standings in the Northwest Suburban Conference, sitting with that 4-2 victory. There's those standings on the girls' side. Champlin Park and Centennial both 9-1 with one more regular season game to go. Rebels have Blaine. That'll be tough. Cougars will be rooting for their rivals. Cougars have Coon Rapids. There's Blaine, 6-3-1 in conference play. And Spring Lake Park with a couple of conference wins, which is big for them in the Northwest Suburban Conference. Boys standing, Blaine Bengals. They've got the best record into that matchup. They were still looking to maybe catch Champlin Park. Their rivals deal them a blow. Cougars now a game over 500. So many close games in there for the Cougars off of 2 straight state tournament trips. That record could be a lot different if a couple things bounce their way. Still 5-4-1 on the year. And Spring Lake Park just a game below that 500 mark at 4-5-1. Girls tennis had some of that over the last week. Blaine against Park Center. And Blaine winning in singles straight across the board in the first 4 singles, with Troy, Freeland, Salisbury, and Carlson getting the win. And the Bengals winning across the board in doubles as well. The Miller, Scheibe, Halseth, Terry, Merck, Pratt combinations helping to the 7-0 defeat of the Park Center Pirates in girls tennis. We also had Spring Lake Park and Blaine, and this one 2 of our teams, and the Spring Lake Park Panthers taking 3 of the 4 singles matches, or excuse me, the Spring Lake Park Panthers taking 1 of the 4 singles matches as they lose this one 5-2, but they also got one of those doubles matchups with Rural and Nussbaum. But again, Troy and Freeland and Carlson getting the 3 wins in singles to help pace things. That is a tough group for Coach Fedor and company for Bengals tennis. Swimming and diving still in action. These are your sports that are now coming down to the end of their season as we're adding sports to the season that we'll talk about. Anoka and Maple Grove still on the calendar for Blaine. It was Andover late last week for Centennial. They'll take on Rogers coming up next week. That's a week from tomorrow. Spring Lake Park has 1 meet this week against Andover, and then again a week from tomorrow against Park Center. Look at the swimming and diving, cross country, still out there running. The trails, hill, dale, whatever it might be, up and down they go. Conference finals, Bassett Creek Park for Blaine, Spring Lake Park, and Centennial. Mark your calendars for the 7th of October, which is Wednesday. I know that's because it's also my wife's birthday, so I've always got that one marked. And now it also means it's cross country day for boys and girls cross country. All kinds of fun for everybody that's already been in these sports. And again, as we've talked to you throughout the fall, these sports that, let's just say, they don't have the coverage via whether it's your local newspaper, for whatever reason, they might just not draw that, or a dedicated website that gives us all the stats that we like. We want to make sure we get the results that matter to you. So even if you think we might find it somewhere, feel free. Send us along the notes and results of cross country, swimming and diving, tennis, even soccer, as we might miss some of those every now and again. And when you got teams like the Cougars beating people 22-0, we just like to have the assurity that that actually happened, as it did earlier this year. SportsDan@NorthMetroTV.com. That's where we would like your help. And you can just send us pats on the back, too. Whatever you want to send us. Whatever you want to send us, hopefully it's all positive. And more importantly, hopefully it's helpful for us as we try to cover our Bengals, our Panthers, and our Cougars. There will be more to cover coming up this fall, and that is what we will dive into next. It's Sports Dan. Stick around. That's got me just about to jump over this desk to get back into action with football and volleyball. It's been very fun to be able to cover the sports that we have that got to start, that we just talked about in the first half of the show. But getting football and volleyball a season this year, it's fun for us, and we can't even imagine the student athletes and the parents, you guys all out there watching, that now get your chance to go out and compete. And that starts this week, and that means that we also know where we will be coming up. Here first, a look at the football schedules for Blaine, Centennial, and Spring Lake Park. Pick what you want out of there. I mean, you've got a 6-game schedule. It's basically the teams that were the opponents last year, just changing maybe where the games happen to make sure people get some even Steven home and road. Spring Lake Park has 2 out of the gates at home, as does Centennial with Champlin Park and Zatino Grace. Blaine will go to Maple Grove in week number 2. You look at rivalry week on the 30th, so Halloween's got that. And then, of course, the rivalry for Spring Lake Park, Irondale, one of their biggest at home in the 2nd week. So a lot of fun there straight through. You got to hit the ground running if you're any of our 3 teams as they try to compete this fall. So what do we have for you? That's a lot of games. I mean, I am just speaking for me because it's more work for the crew to get there for all of these. But if I could, I'd be at every single one. But that's neither here nor there. October 9th, we've got 2. Armstrong at Spring Lake Park. The truck will be there. I will be at that one to open it up for the Panthers. Also October 9th, Tino Grace at Blaine. 15th and 16th, back-to-back nights, Centennial and Spring Lake Park. That's that Irondale Spring Lake Park matchup. October 23rd, that's the next week, Roseville at Blaine. Raiders and Bengals, that ought to be a good one. Then a week later, Blaine at Centennial for the rivalry, as mentioned. November 6th, Spring Lake Park at Hopkins. November 6th as well, Osseo at Blaine. And the best way to not only keep track of the games themselves, but is to go to NorthMetroTV.com because it'll list where you can see those games we're covering. How about volleyball? Very busy as well for volleyball as they will get started later on this week. That's Thursday for Blaine at Andover, Centennial at Elk River, and Spring Lake Park at Coon Rapids. All 3 of those on the road, so our coverage for volleyball will start a week from today, basically, as we'll be out and about for those. You'll see it right there. That is the 12th, and we'll have Andover at Centennial, Anoka at Blaine. Again, we're going to do some magic of television to make sure we can get you all these games one way or another, and we've got better magic than we used to have, and that means we can get you more live games even with some of our technology, even if it's a one cam. So all of those games, NorthMetroTV.com, you got to find your way there, and you can find out what channel you can see them on based on what and how we are covering those games. Again, to bring it all together into one, we do have soccer tomorrow. Thanks for the reminder, guys. Champlin at Blaine. We've got soccer tomorrow, and that's a big one for a lot of reasons, both boys and girls in that doubleheader. First football matchup, Friday, live at 6:55. Armstrong at Spring Lake Park, also live. You see that, subject to change. Streamed online only are the yellow ones that you saw on there. And that's how you can watch it. The online only will be on the YouTube TV and the North Metro TV Sports Plus. Everything else will cover those games, those main games that we were covering. Again, I can't drive it home enough. NorthMetroTV.com, or just watch this over and over and over again, and maybe that'll give it to you clear as mud. But NorthMetroTV.com, we're excited to bring you whatever games we potentially can, and we will do so over the rest of the fall and then into the winter, because we got good news about winter sports as well, having a season going into the winter. So that'll be fun. You know where you need to go. You can go right here to Sportsden every Monday with our new airings, or NorthMetroTV.com, and follow us on social media. That'll do it for Sportsden today. Don't forget, go out and support your teams. More ways to do it. Support them from home, too, by watching us if you can't get out there in person. Go Bengals, go Panthers, go Cougars, and go Fall Sports. Good night, everybody.